Spencer Lazara, MMAinterviews.tv here with the man, the legend, Bas Rutten himself. We're here at Elite MMA out here in Westlake Village. Talk to us about what you got going on at your gym here, Bas.
A lot. You forgot the myth. You said the myth, the legend. You see, okay, so next time when he does that, he's got to add the myth. Living legend. I've just been teaching, but we had a small class. It was only 3 people this morning. Sometimes, you know, it explodes. We have like 16 here. But then other days, like today, it was not such a great day. But then again, it's okay because we had a new guy coming in. Can focus a little bit more on technique. A lot of guys who come in here, they have been taught the wrong way. So, you know, they need a little extra attention to get all that crazy stuff that people have been taught them wrong to try to get it out. It's hard for them. Tell
us. You watched the Strikeforce. You mentioned we were talking about Nick Diaz. So talk about how he looked and the rest of the event. Maybe break that down for us.
You know, yeah, I'm a big Nick Diaz fan for a long time already, and you know the way he handles himself and all that, you know, the trash talk he does. But it's, you know, he's a very good promoter, and he's the promoter's dream also, because he puts people in the seat, you know, because people want to see him getting his ass kicked, and that's why he's doing this. So he's a smart guy. I like guys also who don't run out of gas. You know, that's a very important thing to me because, I mean, let's face it, it should be. They should have fines for that if somebody runs out of gas. It's your job. Go run a hill, do something. You shouldn't be able to run out of gas. Robbie Lawler was weird because he did really good, but it looks like almost he gave him the choke. I go, well, what's up with that? You know, go grab the choke. So that was really weird to me.
He didn't arm fight at all.
Not at all, and he actually, it was like he was giving it to him. Yeah, it was really weird. Against like Jacare, a guy like Jacare, you want to have some defense there, man. This guy is unbelievable. Yeah.
Seemed like he had the body triangle on. Maybe he just said that's it. And yeah, I mean, he wasn't even grabbing arms. That surprised me. What did you think about Herschel Walker?
You know, man, he blew my mind. That was awesome. Yeah, to see him coming in and just taking care of business, you know. He got kicked. He gets angry because of that, and he drops the guy right away. I mean, what's not to love? This is a guy who's an athlete who, you know, who doesn't fight because he needs money. You know, he fights because he loves fighting and he loves the challenge, and that's what I like. All the other guys, they come in, you know, James Tourny, oh, I'm going to do this. No, you're not going to do anything. You know, he shouldn't have been there. You know, got tired, flat-footed, you know, and then all that talk leading up to the fight. Why would that be? You know, it's a shame. And then you take a Herschel Walker, a guy who doesn't need the money, but he likes the challenge, and man, he was good. He was very impressed.
You were just talking about Mauro Ranallo, and you just got off the phone with him. So tell us about that situation, your friendship with him.
You know, yeah, he's always he's a really good guy. He's a really good commentator. We did this really bad movie a long time ago together in Canada, and I came in with a big hangover, and he came in there, and it was funny. And we clicked right away, and we had like a 6-page script. We were commentators in the movie, and he memorized that script like within 5-6 minutes. I mean, memorized the thing. So I go, like, you're kidding me. So I started running lines with him, and he knew every line. I go, wow, this guy is nuts, you know. And he had this crazy voice. He was talking like this, you know. And I go, man, you get something. And we started hitting it off, and we started improvising, and everything went really good. So I told him, I said, at the end, I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, you did already radio. And I said, man, give me your number. You never know. And 4 years later, 3-4 years later, I'm working for the Pride Fighting Championships, and you know, they wanted to replace Steven Quadros, so they looked for somebody else. And they found somebody else first, Damon Perry, but they didn't like him, and they said, "Man, do you know somebody?" I said, "Oh, actually, I do. I think, you know, let me make a phone call. I hope I still have his number." And I did. I had his number, you know. So I called him, and it was good. It was because it was a bad moment in his life. It was the right pickup that he needed. And I said, "Man, you got to send in a tape to Japan, to these people from Pride. I think you're going to get a job here." He says, "You're kidding." So he sent in a tape, and they were blown away, and boom, he was there. And I told him, I said, "You're going to be the best commentator. Watch." Because I didn't know before I started commentating. I said that there was a list of best commentators, you know. But he's the play-by-play guy. And yeah, for a couple of years now, he hit #1, you know, and he's really that good. And now he's got his own TV show in Canada, his radio show. I mean, sky's hitting the limit, you know. I always get, like on New Year's, voicemail messages, crying voicemail message. "Yeah, I love you, man." He's a good guy, man. He's so funny. Like, if we would be in Japan, And in Japan, you wake up early because of the jet lag. We would go to have breakfast, and it's known, the Hilton in Japan, for the fighters, is known to have like the best breakfast in the world. And there would be like a gathering there. And when we would sit at the table, that table would be packed with all the fights, because if they would see that Mauro is there also because he's nuts, you know, that everybody would come at the table, and that's cracking jokes, you know, it's... yeah, you would think it's during the day. It's all unbelievable what went on there in the morning. Really cool.
So speaking of, he's doing Strikeforce, obviously he'll be in New Jersey in a couple weeks. The heavyweight tournament kicks off. Give us your predictions for that event as well as the entire tournament.
Man, that's going to be a hard one. Fedor's going to have a tough nut to crack there, man. I mean, Antonio Silva, that guy is that's the what is it? The black horse? How you call it here? The dark horse. The black horse. That's a good one. Close enough. That's close, eh? Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a hard fight. You know, that's not going to be easy. So I really wonder what's going to happen there. I do think overall, I think that Alistair should be able to pick this whole thing. You know, it's funny that I told him like a year and a half ago, I put him on #1 at the list. And people complaining, you know, why are you #1? I say, it's my list. It's freedom of speech. I can put my mother #1 if I like. There's nothing you can do. It's my list, not your list, you know. And thank God that people actually see my list because they know who I am. So, you know. But I put him at #1 because I think he's dramatically improved over the last years. People go like, oh, Chocolate Dell knocked him out. Guys, that was 7 years ago or something like that when he was 205. He's a whole different animal right now. This guy really turned into this fighter, you know. He's a guy, he's a heavyweight like Cain Velasquez who can go the distance. It doesn't matter. He can go 5 rounds, you know. That also is something I can't stand, you know. Again, you know, it has to be an excuse that if you're a heavyweight that you can run out of gas. Because they say, yeah, but they're heavyweights. It's just unbelievable. It blows my mind that people even so you pay $50 or $60 if you want to order it in high definition, and you're okay with that? Somebody runs out of gas in 1 round. I'm not okay with that. You know, they should not be able. Yeah, but he has another job on the side. Well, then he should quit that job because if you're a main event somewhere, you know, fighting for a world title, you should have some stamina. So, no, and he does that. And he's a great striker, which is proven now. You know, Mirko Krokop has always been the man. Well, he never won a K1. Alistair did. And then, you know, the way he manhandles people, I see this going very well for him.
How about the other Golden Glory guy here? Karitinov's taking on Andrei Arlovski.
Yeah, that's and Hartanov. He's getting really good now again. You know, he's finding his rhythm back. Knocked a guy out in Japan. Actually, he had 2 fights ago, he got knocked out himself, right? K1. In the K1. Oh, yeah, that was a K1 rule fight. Okay, this is different because he's just really good striker. I mean, he used to train with Fedor. They were training buddies, you know, and I heard at that time that he was really good when he would train with Fedor. So, you know, if with the right people around him, and which he has right now with Golden Glory, because they're all animals there, you know, and everybody trains together. It's like a family. When you walk in there, these guys have breakfast together. I mean, they're good guys, you know, nice guys, and they're all there to help each other. I think, yeah, Arlovski is going to be in for a run. You're going to get a run for his money. But then again, Arlovski, when he fought Bigfoot, I was super impressed, you know, that because they said he had a glass jaw. He did have a glass jaw. I mean, Bigfoot hit him, you know, and he just took the shots and he came back. You know, that's one of those guys that when he's on, you know, and then it's a very hard guy to fight, Arlovski is.
Yeah, technically, he seems like he'd have it. Karitinov has the heavy hands in that one. Verdum has been on record here as saying, talking a little bit smack, says he doesn't like Overeem. You know, that's a rematch also from 4 years ago. As we said, Overeem's improved so much. And in the Chuck fight, as you mentioned, and as well in the Verdum fight, he was winning the fight before losing both of those fights handily. So he says, Overeem, he is my son. That's what he's been saying. So he seems to be saying some words not so nicely to Overeem. They seem to have a little beef. What do you think about that fight, and what do you think about how Overeem will take that?
I don't like, if he's my son, that's a good thing, right? He's embracing him. He's gonna protect him like a father to a lost son. Listen, I don't know if you really want to make Alistair angry now. You know, he's like one of those guys that really gets angry. You kind of get that little extra shot. Verdum comes off, of course, from a great victory, and it gives him a lot of confidence. And sure, he beats him again, but it's like you said, they were getting beat at the moment he ran out of gas. That part, the running out of gas part with Alistair, is gone. That will never happen again. I've seen people train when they say, okay, Velasquez, he's a machine when he trains. Well, you got to see Alistair train. You have no clue what you're seeing. The guy goes. Plus, he has an O2 trainer. Enough said, right? Enough said. It's not going to run out of gas. So, you know, I think it's going to be a whole different ball game. You know, he put quite some size on him also. The technique, much better technique. You know, when Fedor fought Kosaka, a long time ago, I was doing the commentary, and he was giving those wild punches in the guard. And I'm saying there at the commentary, he's got to watch out for armbars and triangles because he's committing himself too much to those punches. So when Verdum caught him, they put up that clip, of course, and they said, hey, here, look what Bas said 5 years ago. You know, so Verdum could have seen that, you know. Alistair is not going to play that game. He's not going to go to the ground with a guy who knows he's better. Is he stronger? No, he's not. Can he maybe even? Yeah, probably can. But he's so big. Can he get him actually into a triangle choke? I don't know. I don't know how long his legs are. But Verdum is just a guy. Why would you go to the ground? Why on earth would you do? Why would you take the risk against a guy like that? He's going to try to keep the fight standing, you know. And if he can stop his takedowns, listen, he's not going to run out of gas. And if he's going to stop his takedowns and cannot go to the ground. Although I have to say that Verdum's striking is very underrated, I think. You know, when he fought Fedor, I said, actually before I said that his striking is, I think, is better than Fedor's, technical-wise. Fedor hits harder. Fedor hits on the money. You know, when he connects, his timing is impeccable. I mean, he's got really good, all that. But I mean, like, Fedor hits it overhand and he hits it with the pinky and it breaks his hand. You know, his technique is not nice. But it's really good what he does. Trip. Okay, and Godspeed, everybody. Godspeed and party on. Buena suerte y disfruten de las fiestas. Godspeed and party on.